Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new episode of our online interview series. Today, I have the honor to talk to Tim Clark and Bryan Atkinson from Fury Gold Mines. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for your time and always a pleasure to talk to you. So, last year was pretty busy for Fury Gold Mines with all the press releases, with all these great results. And this year started the same. So within the last 4 weeks, we had already two really great press releases with drill results. And so let's talk about that. What happened? What's very special about it? And what's going on there?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. No, it's a continuation of the hinge drilling that we did throughout the year, and we got in some good spots at the end. We did some downhole optical televiewer work, which helped with our targeting towards the end of the year, and we came up with some really good hits. These last two news releases, the headlines have been 3.5 meters of 31.7, and this last one 3.5 meters of 17.6. So we're getting into some really sweet spots. We're nice and shallow in the system, which is really nice. We're within, this last one we put out yesterday is within 130 meters of surface. It ties directly into the 850 zone mineralization from the historical resource, which goes to surface. And it's wide open, above these intercepts. There's no other drilling above it. So there's lots of room to take this all the way to surface and, build into that shallow resource and potential open pit.
Okay, so open pit mine scenario could be possible.
Yeah, there's always been a sort of open pit scenario in the Eau Claire resource. Not huge, sort of 100,000 ounces. We'll see as we do the resource update what makes sense going into it this year, but there's definitely that potential and growing that potential. Both the 850 and 450 zones, the main parts of the Eau Claire resource, they outcrop at surface. They're cleared. There's big football field sort of size, pre-stripped for trenching and everything like that, all ready to go. And the mineralization, high-grade mineralization right at surface. And now we're chasing it down. We were chasing it down, plunge to the west. Now it looks like we can just chase it straight along strike to the west and, look for that shallow bit.
Okay, so how many meters did you drill last year?
We did a total of just shy of 18,000, and then we 12,000 were in the hinge target. Really just sort of tightening up that drilling so we could do a resource update this year, but also expanding. We sort of called it infill drilling throughout the year, but it wasn't infill drilling on the resource. It was infill drilling on our exploration results to get them tight enough that we to 60 to 80 meters so that we could do a resource update and include the hinge into it.
Okay, and for Hinge, all the drill results are out now?
Yeah, so this was the last sort of 5 holes. One hole didn't reach target. We re-drilled it, but this is the last 5 holes from the hinge, and now we still have 5 holes from Percival. And as we were doing all this drilling and everything, we were also advancing a few very interesting targets through the pipeline that we're looking forward to bringing out and showing people and sort of showcasing that work and the potential, especially along the Percival serendipity trend of some really interesting anomalies out there that are ready to drill this year.
Oh, so that could be the plan for the exploration, the exploration plan for this year.
Yeah, I think you'll see us sort of, there's still lots of room. So this drilling and the resource, remodeling of the mineralization for the resource has opened up a lot of new target areas that have significant potential, outside of what's known at Eau Claire. Plus, we've got really good hits out of Percival in the last 2 years as well, and we want to take that sort of learning out along the trend and do some exploration. And we're also looking up to get up to Éléonore South finally this year with a drill and see what's up there.
Okay, so we are not just focused anymore at Eau Claire. You're also going north to Nunavut to your project, and as well close by Éléonore here to Éléonore South joint venture with Newmont.
Yeah, we're going to go up to Committee Bay for just sort of a short week, sort of proof of concept, week to 10 days. We've got some really interesting things that came out of that 2021 intercept of 14 grams over 10 meters. 120 meters outside of the Three Bluffs resource, but it's in a shear zone and sheared metasediments, and that's never been the focus of exploration up on the Committee Bay Belt. So we've gone back through, we've looked through all the till data, everything. We've got really nice systematic data sets across it. And, you know, you'd have a till anomaly and you go drill the magnetic stratigraphy, the iron formation, and not all those till anomalies are explained by what came out of the drilling the iron formation. And when we dig down into the, you know, the geology and magnetics and whatnot, we see these subparallel shear zones that are there that, you know, now with what we know from Three Bluffs, it could be, you know, their own zones of mineralization out there. So yeah, excited. It's gonna be another big year, and yeah, you'll see us, you know, more discovery focused. You know, we've shown the resource can grow, and you'll see that, you know, in early April with the resource update. And now that kind of allows us to, you know, go back to what we're really good at, and that's, you know, making new discoveries.
Yeah, perfect. New
Yeah,
discoveries means more value for the investors, for the shareholders.
Yeah,
And
I was just going to add, it's just the concept behind of what our strategy is to try and create as many options to win as we possibly can. So one of the reasons why we're going back to Nunavut is because we're getting a lot more interest from the producers. And when Bryan and I were out at Beaver Creek, for example, I would say almost half our meetings were about Nunavut and the expansion. And as the, you know, the industry itself is much more bullish on gold price this year than it was last year. And I think the bigger companies are also looking to replace a lot of ounces. So you look at like Agnico rolls over into 2026 and on their production numbers. So, and Barrick and has been looking up north, and we've got Newmont buying Newcrest. I mean, they're all expanding and have to get bigger. When you have more inflation, you have to get bigger to cut back on that inflation into your margin. And so they've been sitting down with us, and we want to open up the conversation more. And so going up and doing some survey work is just going to start opening up that opportunity to win. And I think a lot of investors kind of counted on us going to Committee Bay for that big 10-bagger swing, because that's where you get them. And so after 2 years, we're going to start leaning back into it and just kind of start poking our way up there to try and find a partnership with the company and showing that there's a pathway. And then obviously the joint venture with Newmont, we've been waiting for a couple of years. It's been a decade basically of no drilling in there. And I think we're going to finally get some up there this year. And we've got a lot, I think it's some of our more exciting targets, according to Bryan and David Rivard and our team. Plus, we have all these anomalies out on the Eau Claire property on the back of a resource update. And so you tie that in with, again, Dolly Varden, they still got a third of their results pending in the next couple of weeks. There's still a lot of news for Fury in the next couple of months throughout the year. So there you go.
are you still holding 22% of Dolly Varden?
We still have 22%. And so we're still the largest shareholder of Dolly. And then we still have about $6+ million in the Treasury right now. So I would argue we're one of the best financed juniors in the sector.
For sure. So around about 50 million Canadians actually in the bank. So with your share position?
Well, with Dolly Varden and yeah, I would think it's something like that. Dolly's traded off a little bit right now because of there was an index swap. And so this is actually a buying opportunity, I think, for Dolly with all the results still pending. And I'm on the board, and the company is pretty excited about where they're going, and they feel like they're starting to get on it. I'm not going to speak for Sean Kunkun, but because he does a great job himself, but we're supportive, and I think Bryan and his team have put together a really good program last year where they executed. As he said, the 2024 program is going to be much more focused on new discovery. That's what investors want. That's what they're going to get paid for in the market. And so that's what we're going to really primarily target.
Well, perfect. But there is no exploration plan 2024 outlined now, so nothing in detail.
Well, we haven't gotten all the results in. And as one of our directors pointed out, who used to work for Goldcorp for many years, basically said that things, as we look at the resource update, it could change the configuration and really change how we perceive it. So we need to look at that right away to really make a target. But the goal here is to keep moving forward, but try and minimize the dilution to the stock, which is important for investors, and to find that balance, and leverage what we got with Dolly Varden, having that as a backdrop. So we'll come out with it soon. We just need another month or so. So there you go.
Perfect. And what I also really like on you guys, and of course also on the company, is that you have so great relationships to all these big producers, with Agnico, with Hecla, with Newmont, and also this conversations between. So with Brian Christie's on the board, you have another great person now.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like this year, I've skipped a couple of conferences so I can do some other ones, and Bryan has taken up the rope, and with Margot, and they've gone out to Vancouver. Bryan and David are going up to PDAC. I'm going down to Phoenix and Miami, and I'm doing a bunch of marketing in the US and Europe. So we're kind of getting to be a pretty oiled team and really efficient, and we've brought our costs back. I spent an hour and a half on the phone last night with one of our new directors, Isabel, who spent 25 years basically investing in small cap mining in Quebec. And she's like, I don't see where you can really take the cost down more than you guys have and be more efficient. And that was really a nice thumbs up. And again, as far as the relationships in the junior space, a lot of investors I sit down with are always surprised how well we know Phil Baker at Hecla, Sean Boyd at Agnico, and others that go along the line with all the majors. And I'll be going to BMO in a couple of weeks. I spent 10 years working with Bank of Montreal. They're the #1 mining banker on the street, and this is where you see everybody that's going to be impactful for us on the production side. So it's going to be a good start to the year. Let's put it that way.
Sounds good for me as well as an investor. So I'm also a shareholder of the company, for disclosure. And so you're drilling, some drill results are coming, updated mineral resource is coming, and some other great news from the other projects. So for me, it sounds and it looks like that 2024 is at least as successful as last year for you guys, and with a better gold environment, with a better precious metals environment, then it's good.
Look, all we need is one or two things to go, and a better environment on top of that would really send the stock to much higher levels, and that's what we're trying to be patient and wait for. Investors should feel pretty confident that if they're looking for a vehicle in the junior gold space, I think we're a very good bet. And my focus is really to be a good fiduciary of their money and how we spend it. And that's the rest is in the market and luck with Mother Nature finding some of these things. But I've got a couple really good guys on our team. I think our geology team I would put it up against a lot of the majors. And my biggest worry is that Bryan and these guys will get bid away by all these guys we're working with. So we want to make sure they're happy and staying with us going forward.
Sure. Perfect. No, that sounds very good, Tim. So efficient, productive, and the right guys at the right place. Fury Gold Mines, for me, a very good investment. And for all of our investors, check out the company. And if questions are coming, come back to us. We are happy to answer the questions. And so check out the company. Thanks for your time, Tim and Bryan. And we will see us soon at PDAC in Toronto, for example, Bryan. Thank you very much.
Looking forward to it.